Welcome back, listeners, to the Lust for Life podcast, where you'll be joining a girl on her journey to discovering the depths of emotional intelligence. This is your host, Tennessee Reed. Welcome back, everyone. Once again, it's so great to have you. Today, you might hear a little background noise because it is raining in Chapel Hill today. So you might hear the little raindrops in the back, which is fun. Today, my husband, Jake, will also be joining us again. He's been on some previous episodes, and I love having him. We have lots of great conversations throughout the week, so it's always extra special when we're able to record them. Jake, do you want to say hi to everybody really quick?
Yeah, hi everyone. As always, excited to be here.
We are really excited to bring up a topic today that was in high discussion this week, and it's the topic of the haters and the people who are going to criticize you, criticize your life, criticize anything about you. So a little backstory from this week. Lucy, our Scottish Terrier, has an Instagram, and she is a popular pooch a little bit. She likes to post a lot throughout the week, and Jake and I kind of co-manage that. But we posted a video this week that was not popular for many. And I'll give you a little background. You can look her up on Instagram if you want to look at it. But
it's at Lucy the Scotty.
Yeah, at Lucy the Scotty.
Is it Lucy _ the Scotty?
Yeah, it's Lucy _ the Scotty. But she's a cute little Scottish Terrier, and you'll know it when you see her. We'll just say that. Anyway, we posted a video this week, and she loves to hang her head out the window. Like, she wants as much of her body out the window as possible. Like, she just loves the wind and the smells. And when she's sitting on our lap on the front seat, we often have to really hold tight to her, because she would, if she had the choice, she would be tiptoeing out the window and she would fall. Honestly, she loves the thrill, and it's funny to watch her. She just will try to put all of her feet on the windowsill and impossibly balance there. So we have to be careful and hold her. And we often hold her by her tail. But before you freak out, we understand that pulling tails of dogs is very dangerous, and that it is attached to the spine and you can cause damage that way. If you didn't know, she has a carrot tail. Scottish Terriers actually have the strongest tail out of all the dogs. They were actually meant to be pulled out from these little holes by farmers. So they'd go into these little holes and they would chase gophers, rats, whatever. And they would get the rodent, and then the farmer would pull them out by their tails. And you can actually hold a lot of Scottish Terriers by the tail itself and not hurt them.
Not that we've ever tried that.
We have never tried that and never will. But they are very strong tails. So anyway, when we have Lucy hanging out the window, we actually will often hold her by her tail, and she's totally fine with this. When we play fetch with her around the house, sometimes we'll kind of mess with her and pull her tail a little bit, and she loves it, actually. She thinks it's fun. So we were having Lucy on our lap. It was on Jake's lap. And she rolled down the window herself. She knows how to do that. And she started to stick her head out the window, climbed up the window a little bit to the point where Jake needed to hold on to her so that she wouldn't fall out the window. And she started to try to put all 4 of her legs on the rim of the car. And we're like, oh, no, we can't do that. But she does this so often, and it's just so funny that we wanted to video it. So we started videoing it. And we did get a video of it. And in the video, her paws are on the front, window. And then she's trying to get her back paw up on the windowsill. And her left back paw is still on Jake. But it's just it's a funny video to us, because we're like, oh my gosh, this is just so Lucy, living on the edge, Red Bulldog,
And keep in mind, we're only going 25 miles an hour on a super controlled road right now. It's not on the freeway. It's not heavy traffic or anything. We were going slow. No cars were around us or anything. And so we felt super safe and comfortable.
It was a slow country road.
Yeah.
There was literally nothing going on. It was very controlled. And we would never, ever, ever put her in danger if we knew we had control of the situation. Anyway, we posted the video online and it quickly got a lot of attention. And at first, the other Scotty dogs were actually like laughing and they were like, oh my gosh, we've been there too. We also do that. My mom also pulls my tail, da 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 da. But then we got some more comments and some more comments. And it currently has, what, over 400 comments?
Yeah, like, almost, yeah.
And it's still going. It has like over 200,000 views today and over 400 comments. And most of those comments are not very nice. They are cussing us out, whatnot, telling us that we're the most horrible people in the world and that you can't pull their tail because it's going to break their spine or whatever. But that was a big lesson for us. And it's not the lesson of caring for our terrier. We take great care of her, but it was actually like, are we going to let the haters, people who say terrible stuff to you, affect you? And that was like, I was actually really proud of Jake and I this week. We know we treat her well. We actually treat her like an absolute princess. She gets kicked out of the bed. No, we get kicked out of the bed before she does. She is just the love and joy for us. So we treat her so well. And it was just, I was proud of Jake and I to be able to just kind of like, meh, with all the people telling us that we are the worst people in the world. All kinds of cuss words, all kinds of words. And it was just kind of crazy to see how brave people are behind the computer or online. And when their name is not attached to their account, or they're not facing us in person telling us these things.
Yeah, it was a lot. At first, like, well, we just woke up and in like one night it had over... Lucy's reels normally don't like get a lot of views. I mean, she's popular from a dog standpoint, but like we woke up and the next day she had over 100,000 views in like less than 24 hours. And we just woke up to hate like crazy. And at first I was like, oh, like the first like few like kind of hurt. And like I felt like a little inside, like that didn't make me feel very good. But then after 200, 300 of these just hateful comments just cussing us out, it just like, I just got to the point where I literally do not care at all anymore about like, having all this hate thrown at me actually like built my confidence. I'm like, I know what I am. I am confident in what I do. I know that we would never put Lucy in a dangerous position. Like what we did with her in the car, like, yeah, there was nothing wrong with that. And so it was just interesting that as the hate grew, I was able to tolerate it more. And also I built more confidence in myself.
I agree. I think like the biggest thing is the hate also kind of bothered me at first because like it was just kind of caught me off guard a little bit. And I was just like, whoa, like those are some strong words there, buddy. Like, are you sure you want to say that? But then once they just kept coming in, it was kind of, we had to really reflect on ourselves. Like, did we do everything right? Like, are we the problem, you know? But then we know ourselves so well. We know our intentions. And when you know yourself and your intention, where you've been and where you're going in life, you don't even need the opinion of others to determine your success. Or the opinion of others just kind of doesn't really matter. Because you know yourself so well that if you were to listen to the people around you, you would be stagnant because people will always have an opinion about literally everything. It's kind of absurd. People will have an opinion about every action of your life. And if you listen to them, you will literally be stagnant because you're just going to be pushed side to side. That's why we have different political parties, because people have different opinions about things. The most important thing is you need to know you, what's best for you, and you just go forward with it. And I was just really proud of us to be able to just kind of like look at those comments and be like, meh, like it didn't even really affect us that much. And so if that were to happen to me last year, I feel like I kind of would have been in a wreck and I would have deleted the video. But this year, now I've grown my emotional intelligence. I've kind of started to figure out who I am. I've done the inner work. And Jake and I have worked a lot together emotionally and building our connection. And that something like this, we were like, no, I don't want to delete the video. Like, let's keep it up. That's who we are. You'll never hear somebody more successful than you criticizing someone less than them.
Yeah, it's something I thought was interesting too. Like you mentioned earlier, how much courage people get hiding behind a screen. Maybe there's probably, like you said, well over 400 comments. Maybe like 20 are, oh, this is funny, haha, like we do that all the time. But then out of all the hateful ones, probably 90, I'm not even exaggerating, probably 98, 99% are like pure ruthless, like criticizing like our character. And only like 1 or 2% actually gave like good, genuine, constructive like feedback, like out of pure concern, like in a nice professional way, which I thought was very interesting too. Just people just talk online how they would never ever dare speak to anyone in person. And especially if you're going to talk online like that, like Tennessee said, you're never going to get hate from someone doing better than you. And which I mean, I guess with a dog standpoint, I that could be like harder to apply. But for example, so on the topic of hate, right now I'm trying to beat the pull-up record David Goggins set in 2013 of 4,030 pull-ups in 17 hours and 16 minutes. Yes, the record's been broken like multiple times since, including again by Goggins himself. But for me, that'd be a big accomplishment if I could do that. And I've been working at it for a while, and some people know. And it's interesting looking at the people who tell me that is so unhealthy and that's not very smart to do, and I'm crazy and I don't love and respect my body. It's interesting that they tell me that, and then I go and I see things that they do and some of their habits and their actions, and I'm like, you think I'm not being healthy and I'm not respecting my body. Look at what you're doing. And then it's interesting then the conversations I have with other people who I look up to and who are really goal oriented and have these big dreams and have these big visions for what they're capable of, and they don't put limits on themselves, whether it's physical or professional or anything. I share this goal. Yeah, I'm going to beat David Goggins' pull-up record. And they say, that's awesome. Go get it. Like, what can I do to help? Like, I'm cheering you on. I'm here. And so it's so true what Tennessee said. You'll never meet a hater doing better than you. And those people who just give you hate, if you have haters, it uses a confidence boost. Make it know like you're on the right track.
Yeah, it's a compliment.
Yes, if you get people telling you that like you're crazy, you're doing bad things, and I'm not yada 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 XYZ, you're on the right track, because otherwise, if you're not having haters, you're just going through living a mediocre life, and they're not doing anything special, and you're not standing for anything, and you're not pushing yourself, and you're just not doing anything crazy if you don't have haters.
And I'm thinking about like your journey as a medical student, your physical journey, doing these pull-ups. You talked about the hate that you've gotten doing these pull-ups. I guarantee you at some point when you told people you're going to be a doctor, you're going to go to medical school for 4 years, you are going to be in residency for 6 years, and then fellowship 2 years after that, let's say. I guarantee you people have an opinion and will say, oh, are you ready to waste your 20s? Like, are you ready to slave away your life just for a few dollars? Even though this is what Jake's passion is, anything you do, I feel like people are going to have an opinion on. And I guess that's what makes this world go round. People are different, and people have likes and dislikes, but the way you share it, the way you share your message, like Jake said, is important. There's a constructive way to share your opinion that's respected. If people were to share their opinion lovingly and respectfully, I would have said, that's a good thought. I can see where they're coming from.
And the two who did share on Lucy's thing, that's why we did decide to look.
Right. Yeah. And that's why, because they shared it genuinely and you could tell it was genuine, we're like, maybe we should reflect a little bit. But back to the medical school comment, have you had anyone mention that to you at all? I'm curious.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, you get everyone. The common thing is, oh my gosh, that's a lot of school. Why would you ever want to waste your 20s doing that, or why would you want to work for healthcare or stuff like that? But it's interesting, and I think the best people to listen to about addressing haters is David Goggins and then Cam Hanes in his book Endure. He talks so much about it. And one thing I really like that David Goggins says, a lot of these people, and back to what I said about whatever you're doing, that's not healthy for you, or these people saying, oh, you're going to waste away your 20s. It's not that, he essentially goes, it's not that they're scared of not being healthy, because like I said, the people who tell me I'm not being healthy, they are not being healthy. And the people who say that you're wasting away your 20s, I mean, if you want a successful job anyways, you're going to have to be putting in more than 9 to 5 every week. No matter what you do, if you want to be able to build up and be successful, you're going to have to do more than that. And so honestly, it's not that they're afraid of wasting their 20s. It's not that they're afraid of being unhealthy. It's that they're afraid of the effort that it takes. And they're afraid of applying themselves, and they're afraid of setting goals, and they're afraid of failure that they're not willing to reach out and try a lot of the times. And I think it's interesting too, because especially like in medical school right now, like I'm having so much fun. Like we're doing so much stuff together, and I'm able to, like, we ran a marathon. I'm able to just go for this pull-up record. I have a lot of fun with my friends. I went to so many UNC basketball and football games. And then even in undergrad, we'd go skiing all the time and mountain biking all the time. And we were able to go on trips. So it's no part of this is wasting away your 20s. And I can't think of a better way to spend your 20s than to build these, like, just this personal development and build these skills and this self-discipline that will carry in you the rest of your life and cause you to, like, just your success will just continue to compound exponentially through these skills that you learn here. And again, no matter what job you do, I think your 20s are so important to set the foundation for the rest of your life. And whether it's medical school or not, if you want to be successful, you're going to be putting in more than just the 8 to 5 or 9 to 5 for your work.
Yeah, at least like at the beginning, right? Mm-hmm. If you're wanting that freedom, you've got to build it somehow. So you've got to put in extra work more than everyone else because no one else is wanting to put in the extra work.
Yeah, like Elon Musk was working like over 100 and something hour weeks.
He was like living at his
for like 2 years. Like he would sleep like hardly anything for the first like year or two because you got to grind.
So to switch tracks a little bit here, it was interesting to see the comments on Lucy's post, and we actually posted a video essentially saying like, wow, we were surprised by the hate comments, that you have so much passion that you're willing to like explicitly say these words. So why don't you just donate to the Humane Society if you have this much passion to say these words? Like clearly you care a lot. And we actually responded to some of the comments with that comment. Like, it wasn't rude. We were looking for a classy way to kind of like put our foot down a little bit. So we responded to some of the comments and we said, it's clear you're passionate about animal wellness. Please feel free to donate to the Humane Society. The link is in our bio. And I couldn't even reply to a lot of these people because they turned off the ability for people to comment back to them. So essentially they're dishing it out, but they can't take the dish back. So they are going and hating on everybody. You know, these people are commenting the meanest things on other people's posts, but then they turned off the ability for people to comment back to them. So you can yell at someone, but then in real life, you imagine if you had the ability just to like stop someone talking in their tracks. Like you can't do that in real life. You can't just stop people from talking. And so clearly these people are dishing it out and can't dish it back. And so it's interesting that these keyboard warriors are able just to say whatever they want, but then in real life you can't, they don't have what it takes. And also another video that I found interesting online was, I believe it was Hailey Bieber. And she was saying, these people are writing these such rude comments on my post, but then I look on their bio and it's like, mom of 3, Psalms 7 verse 5 or whatever. And so they put and it was similar on our post too. Like a lot of these really mean comments, I go in their bio and it was like, it looked like they have their values apparently posted in their bio. So it's one thing to say something about who you are and then your actions say another. I just thought I felt just so relatable to that video of Hailey Bieber. But once again, like, it didn't bother us, but we were just like, it took us caught off guard a little bit at the beginning. And then we're like, okay, like, that was actually, I'm really grateful that happened, because now we know to be confident in our decisions, know ourselves so well, do the work that when haters do come, we don't even question what we've done, because we know what we're doing is right, and we know that we're on the right path.
Yeah, and I think just going back to what you said too, and being on this side of the hate, just not just talking about us, but for everyone, just being on the recipient side, we have to really make sure that we're never dishing it out and that we're never giving out hate. And I think the more, like, you just think it's successful people, the more successful you get, you don't have time to even think about hating other people or to spread
and you don't have
hate.
time to respond to the haters either.
But the success is built from, like, loving others and helping others, not tearing people down and not hating on other people. And
I think once you receive the hate, you know what it's like, and you're like, why would I ever say that to anyone? Like, I think once you've received it, you're like, okay, I get it now.
Yeah.
You know?
But yeah, I think it applies to everything in life, like parenting. Like, why would you raise your kid that way? Or what I guess is similar to Lucy, or just, you said school, or why would you go and do that major or something, or work or friends or hobbies? It just applies to anything. But
I think a big thing too is like how you respond to it. Like, you don't even need to respond to it, but if you respond with hate, like, you're just wasting your own energy too. Like, don't even let it penetrate you at all, you know? Like, I feel like so many people respond to the hate. It's like a natural reaction to, like, someone's yelling at you, you yell back. Like, know yourself so well, be bigger, step back if you need to, and then talk in a normal tone like adults. We don't need to be yelling like toddlers fighting over the choo-choo train, you know? Just be composed.
Like you said, at first it caught us off guard, and I was ready to stick up for us, and I was ready to stick up for Lucy and go back and just turn these keyboard warriors are wanting a battle. Let's bring it. But then we just, like Tennessee said, we had to take a step back. Like, that's literally going to do absolutely nothing.
It's going to make it
besides just make it worse, and it's going to make us fired up, and it's just going to mess with us, and it's going to impact with our happiness throughout the day, because we're going to be so focused on this online keyboard battle hiding behind screens that no one's going to change their thoughts online. If they come out that strong, no words you type are going to change their thoughts, because they have to hold up their pride. And so it's just best, like, there's just no point in really saying anything, and you're so much happier that way too. Like, you just forget about it and you just move on, and instead of engage in this hate and these fights and these contention, that nothing good comes from contention. But, like, you can resolve things, like Tennessee said about those two comments, the few who, like, actually gave, like, peaceful criticism constructively and did really good at it. We actually listened to. Yeah, and those, like, I felt fine with that. But the ones, like, if you spend, like, time just thinking about the harsh negative ones that are cussing us out, you're just not happy. So I think it's, like Tennessee said, best to just forget about them. Which, I mean, you can't really, like, forget about them, but
just don't let it bother you.
But just don't address it. Yeah. Don't bring value to it.
Don't bring value to it.
Because at the point, I mean, after we got, like, 30, the next 300, like, it's all the same. Yeah. It's just all the same after we got the first 30.
But, like, I think it's also valid just to make sure your values are in the right place. Are you ethically doing everything right? Are your values in the right place? Because obviously, if you go and do something illegal, post a video online, and then you receive hate for it, of course you're going to receive hate for it. So just know yourself so well. Your values are aligned. If your values are ethical and aligned, and for you and for the good of others, if you always have the good of others in mind, you can never go wrong. Then you can ignore the hate. But if obviously you're doing something wrong, then maybe self-check yourself. Then we did a little self-checking, and we're like, no, we're right. But that's something I wanted to address too. Just make sure that you are having others best interest in mind too.
Yeah, that's good. And then like if you do realize like, yeah, we probably shouldn't have done, it's okay to go and encourage to go and apologize.
Yeah, admit it.
Yeah, to admit and address it. And it takes a lot of humility, and you'll see a lot of growth in owning your mistakes.
And you'll see like a lot of people like will build trust with you too.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, definitely. And like Tennessee's episode a couple weeks or months ago talking about like shame, if other people too like address like, yeah, I messed up, I shouldn't have done this, there's no need to throw hate out at that.
Make him feel like, more shameful.
Yeah, like say like, yeah, we literally all make mistakes every single day, so like there's literally no point in ever hating, because we are all messing up every single day.
So that reminds me of a video I saw online. It was this guy kind of exposes these people who go to the gym, and their life work is going to the gym, coaching people in the gym, being a personal trainer. And he's exposing them for using Photoshop of their body online and like making them look slimmer, other parts of their body larger. And he kind of points them out in front of everybody, and these get a lot of views. And so I feel bad, but they are essentially lying. And most of these people will kind of fight back and say, no, it's not true. I didn't Photoshop my body. But this one girl actually like posted a video and was crying, and she was like, yeah, I messed up. Like, thanks for pointing that out to me. I needed somebody to point it out to me so that I could fix it. And I was like, that shows so much about her character to be able to do that and not fight back and realize, yeah, I screwed up. Like, I did lie. So it just reminds me, like, and I had so much like love for her, and I just, like, she was in my prayers, and I just was like, oh, that takes a lot of guts to be able to do that, but it shows a lot of character. So that was really cool to see.
Yeah, no, that's impressive. I haven't seen that, but that's impressive, and I think it shows she's confident in who she is, and she's comfortable with who she is. If she's able to recognize her mistakes and move on, she has her values in the right place. I think she cares about her personal growth rather than the public perception of her.
Maybe she wasn't confident, but at least her values were in the right place for her to be able to make that decision and accept and be humbled by that person. But that was this week's experience. It was kind of like caught us off guard, but we're grateful that it happened and we were able to learn from it. And don't be afraid to follow Lucy on the Instagram. Just kidding. If you want to follow our lives, we post so much more on Lucy's Instagram than our own. But we just love Lucy so much, and we would never do anything to hurt her. And our whole world revolves around her. It really does. We just adore her so much, and we've been so blessed to have her. And she's been through every phase of our relationship pretty much, except for the first couple years. So she's been through it with us, and we're just so grateful that y'all were able to join us on this episode and learn with us and grow with us, and we'll all see you back next week.
Bye.